I have always been into technology. Ever since I was a young kid, I always just loved gadgets. So when I realized that my newfound passion for fitness could be intertwined with technology, I was ecstatic. And as such, I have accumulated quite a few fitness gadgets over the past few months and in the last year. And I've built an arsenal that I'm gonna be taking forward with me on my fitness journey for the year of 2023. And I thought, let me share it with you guys. Some of these purchases you might want to consider. Now, I want to preface this video by saying that you don't need any of these to get started with being healthy and being fit, but if you like gadgets like me, then they could enhance your experience or improve your experience when exercising and generally trying to have a better fitness orientated lifestyle. Okay, so without further ado, I'll get into the first item, which is this, the Apple Watch. Okay, this piece of equipment is what actually convinced me to join the Apple ecosystem. Before this, I had a Garmin, and the one I had, I think it was the Ventu 2. I just wasn't happy with it, but as soon as I got this Apple Watch, I was well on my way to being a fitness tech geek. This is the Apple Watch Series 6. I got it actually used and it hasn't caused me any problems so far, and I wear it almost every day. The reason why this is so great, guys, is because it is the best all-rounder, okay? I think that if you are into extreme sports and all of that stuff, then of course you might want to go for one of the Garmin models or even upgrade to the Apple Watch Pro, but for someone that is generally just focused on fitness in different areas of activity, this is the best thing. For some of you, the Apple Watch SE might even be a good alternative as well. This is what I use to track most of my workouts. When I'm resting between sets at the gym, I use the Apple Watch. Before I record a run, typically I'll record it using the Apple Watch and keep track of my calories. If I'm doing interval runs as well, then it is very useful for that with the new update that came around last year. It was a great update for runners. When it comes to recording your heart rate, I think that it can be inconsistent sometimes, but generally speaking, it does a pretty good job. One pro tip is to make sure that the strap that you're using caters to your activity and make sure you have it as tight as you can so it can get a more accurate reading. I actually have two bands. This is the sports one that actually Apple makes, and then I've got a Spigen Dill one, which is just a little bit more casual, but it also looks smarter. Aside from fitness, of course, I can use the Apple Watch to make calls and reply to texts that come in sporadically, but for a fitness tool, I think it is great. Now, I want to quickly talk about the second Apple product, and I won't spend too much time on it, but it is the Apple AirPods Pros. These are just good earphones that I think suit you if you're working out. Okay, these ones, they stay in your ear. I never really have a problem with them falling out. And of course, when I link it with the Apple Watch, it feeds me information whilst I'm running or doing a workout. It might tell me how many calories I've burned, if I've reached a lap of 1K, etc., without me having to actually check the watch. So it's nice to have it all feed in. You know, that's what you get from Apple, really, innit? It's the ecosystem, the connectivity of it all. Okay, so Apple products aside, I just said that I don't always find the heart rate monitor on the Apple Watch consistent, and so I actually have a fix for that, and it was given to me by my good friend Rahul. He gave me a heart rate monitor for my 25th birthday. This one is bipolar. It's not bipolar, but it is by the brand Polar. Essentially, you just strap it to your chest and I start a workout and it records my heart rate. And I've actually been able to compare the differences between the Apple Watch and this, and I do believe that this is more accurate, especially times where I've maybe forgotten to make sure that the watch is tight enough on my wrist. One of the things that I'm really looking forward to testing this on is when I'm training at Muay Thai, because you can't wear a watch when you're boxing. So once I actually start wearing this on my chest, I will be able to see how much calories I'm burning and what my heart rate is at when I'm training during Muay Thai, because it is pretty intensive and I want to see that data. If you're interested in seeing that, quick interjection, I've actually started up my own fitness Instagram page now. So it's separate from my main profile, which some of you guys are following, which is josiahmcv. If you want to see more fitness focused and health focused content, then follow at @DuragDragon, okay? It used to be in my Finsta, now it's open to the public so you can see what I'm doing in terms of my health and fitness journey. I think it's important to share with you guys because it is one of the main foundations of this channel. Now, as you guys know, I have been training for a race and I've gotten into running a lot more recently, and one of the best apps that I think for this is Strava. Now, I've spoken about this in the past, but the reason why I really like Strava is the competition aspect of things. And the reason why I say this is because one of the things I really like on the Apple Watch is the competitions. When I first got it, I was competing with my friends all the time, but a lot of my friends don't actually have Apple Watches. So using Strava is really good for me because I'm fueled by competition. Okay, when I see my friends running and I see that I've dropped a place in the odometer, it fuels me to get up and do a 5K to try and slip past them and get first place back again. That's one of the reasons why I really like Strava. But of course, it's also good to track your runs. One of the things that is really cool is it tracks how much mileage you put into your running shoes, so you know when you should get a new pair. And this isn't just to aid consumerism, but you need to make sure that you've got some good running shoes when you're running, otherwise it can get dangerous. Okay, so that's one of the cool things. And there's a bunch of other features as well. Right now, I'm actually using the premium edition because I've got a 2-month free trial. So I'm looking forward to seeing what other features that are available. But right now, the free one, I would say go ahead and use that. It's really good to just track your runs. The other app that I would want to mention, which I'm sure you guys are no stranger to, is MyFitnessPal. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but if you are cutting or you are bulking, then this is one of the best tools, okay? Because I know we think that we can all just guess what we're putting in our bodies. Being able to actually track it is going to benefit you massively to making sure that you get the results that you actually want to see, okay? Because you might think, oh yeah, this piece of cake has 200 calories, but really it's got 500. Use this feature, scan it up and add it in, and then you know exactly what you're eating, okay? That's only if you're cutting or bulking though. Really, on the day-to-day, I would say just kind of be mindful. But if you are bulking or cutting, I would highly recommend that you try using MyFitnessPal or some other app like that. Speaking of bulking and cutting, one of my favorite tools to use is the Withings scale, okay? I use this to just track my weight and my body fat percentage. That was one of the key indicators that I was looking at when I was tracking myself when I was cutting early last year. I'm gonna go into a cut again coming up soon. I've kind of already started, but I haven't really been tracking it yet. Rest assured, I will be using the Withings scale to make sure that I am on track. I just think it's really good, and it connects to an app so you can see your history of how your weight has transformed over the past few months. And if you're in a family, then you can also use it for more than just one family member. No one else in my household actually uses it, but one of my friends down the road, he comes here every so often to weigh himself. So he's got like a few entry points in there, and he can see how his body has performed over the past few months. If you go to a gym, then your gym might actually have one of these machines where you can hold onto it and stand up, and it can tell you all of that data. This basically does that on a miniature scale. They're always on sale during Black Friday and Amazon Prime days as well, so look out for them. You might not need it now, but I would recommend that you get it if you are looking for a smart scale. The next item I would say is a NutriBullet. I say NutriBullet, but really any blender will do. I just happen to have a NutriBullet. This can take your boring protein shakes that you have every day into some fun smoothies, some fun concoctions. All right, I actually recently posted a short on YouTube and on the Instagram that I mentioned of me making a Senzu shake Dragon Ball Z inspired smoothie. If you want that recipe, go and watch the short or go and watch it on my Instagram. Trust me, if you haven't got a blender, go and get one. It's an easy way to get all those nutrients that you might be missing into your diet. It's really good for nutrition, and it's a nice way to just brighten up the day. And the last thing that I want to say is something that we overlook a lot, and it is actually recovery. I have 2 recovery tools. One is my foam roller. I won't talk about that too much. I essentially just lie down on it and stuff, and I haven't been using it recently that much because I just picked up one of these bad boys. Of course, it's a Terragun, okay? I really put myself off buying one of these for the longest time, but I do a lot of activity, guys. You know this. I'm going through a lot throughout the week, so recovery is important. I finally got one of these, and for the most part, I've actually been loving it right now. It connects to an app as well, a lot of apps with these products, okay, which is what you want, really. I've been using the app to do warm-ups before my runs and recoveries as well, and this has been the bad boy that is delivering the treatment, essentially. I really do like it. I've got one, 2 of my friends have got Terraguns as well. I would recommend it. I don't think you need to buy the most expensive one, especially if you're starting off or if you're not sore that often. I think that there are a whole load out there, but I would recommend getting one that actually does work. So make sure that you've done some research. I can only tell you that I like the Terragun, but of course there's loads of other reviews on YouTube, so go and check out one of those. Please make sure to take recovery seriously, especially if you work out a lot, so try and rejuvenate your muscles. All right guys, that's it for the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, and go ahead and follow my fitness Instagram if you like this kind of content. Other than that, please make sure you have a great day. As your friend, I've got you. Take care.